Welcome to Montana's special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, also known as WIC. WIC provides nutrition education, breastfeeding support, referrals to other resources, and healthy foods that support healthy growth for Montana families. Your store's participation in the WIC program ensures those healthy foods are available to the families that need them. Thank you for your partnership in this unique public health program. WIC benefits are loaded monthly onto an electronic card called eWIC and include categories and amounts of allowable foods. For example, 1 pound of cheese or 16 ounces of whole grains. Fresh, frozen, and canned fruits and vegetables are the only food items that can be bought based on the dollar amount available to the cardholder. Before coming to the store, the WIC family is given a personalized list of foods, all of which are included on the Montana WIC Approved Food List. The Montana WIC Approved Food List defines which specific foods are eligible, such as allowable sizes and brands. Retailers have been provided a 2-page version of this list to keep at the checkout and use as a reference in case any questions arise. WIC families often buy additional items when they are doing their WIC shopping. Cashiers have an especially important role in the program because WIC families depend on you to get the healthy foods they need. The more you know about the WIC program, the better customer service you can provide to help ensure WIC families have a good experience in your store and come back to do more shopping. Families can use their eWIC card to shop at any authorized grocery store in Montana. They can purchase a few WIC items at different times throughout the month, or they can purchase all of their WIC foods at one time. Only those items listed on their available balance will be available for purchase. The whole family's food benefits will be loaded onto one card, which is protected by a personal identification number, or PIN. It is the WIC customer's responsibility to protect their card, but they may allow another person to do their WIC shopping for them. As long as the customer has the PIN, they are allowed to use the eWIC card. Cashiers do not check the identification of any WIC customers. If a WIC customer is having trouble remembering their PIN, and they enter it more than 4 times during the transaction, their account will become locked. If this happens, they can call the phone number on the back of the eWIC card to have it reset. WIC customers can check the balance of their available foods in many different ways. They will receive a printout directly from the WIC clinic at the time of their appointment, or they may view it by logging into a website called mybnft.com. They can view their available balance through an app on their mobile device, or they may call the phone number listed on the back of the card. Most commonly, WIC customers will request an available balance receipt from your checkout counter before they start shopping. Each store's cash register system is different and may be referred to as the point of sale, or POS system. Your store manager is responsible for training you on the procedures for completing a WIC transaction, including how to print out an available balance receipt. Typically, the cashier rings up a mixed basket of food items, meaning there are WIC and non-WIC food items altogether. The WIC customer then swipes their eWIC card before any other form of payment and enters their PIN. This is very important because if another form of payment is received first, it may pay for the WIC foods first. Each night, the WIC approved product list, including thousands of items, is downloaded to your store's POS. This allows your system to identify the foods that WIC will pay for by comparing the items against the approved food list and that particular cardholder's current available balance. The system takes care of this so you don't have to. The POS will either allow or deny an item to be paid for by WIC, and it will ask the customer to approve the purchase of those WIC foods. Once the WIC items are approved for purchase, the customer can use any other form of payment for the rest of the items. The WIC customer should always get a receipt after the transactions. Grocery stores with single-function stand-beside terminals for WIC transactions have a little different process, and your manager will train you on transaction procedures. WIC receipts show a lot of information that can help you and the customer understand the eWIC transaction. They show WIC items purchased, the quantity sold, and the amount WIC paid. WIC receipts also show customers' remaining WIC balance for the month and the last day they can purchase those foods. WIC foods include fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables, milk, cheese, eggs, cereal, whole grains, legumes such as beans and peanut butter, baby food, juice, and infant formula. The foods are chosen by WIC nutritionists that select the right foods for each individual to promote healthy birth and growth. Milk, eggs, canned fish, brown rice, and beans, peas, and lentils can be purchased in any brand. But all other types of WIC foods must be purchased in the brand specified on the WIC-approved food list. The approved food list also describes the allowable sizes for WIC foods. For example, cheese can only be purchased in 8, 16, or 32-ounce packages, and bread can only be purchased in 16, 20, or 24-ounce loaves. Cereal can be purchased in any size, as long as it is an authorized brand and the WIC customer has enough ounces of cereal on their card. Fresh fruits and vegetables are purchased with a specific dollar amount on the benefit. If the WIC customer goes over the amount, they can just pay the difference. Understanding how to identify which WIC foods are and are not authorized helps you provide the best service to WIC customers with questions. However, it is your point-of-sale system that determines which foods will be approved for sale, and there is no way to override this during the transaction. An important resource to help WIC customers find the correct foods is the Montana WIC app for mobile devices. This allows both customers and cashiers to scan an item and determine if it is WIC allowed. Ask your manager or contact the WIC program to find out how to download the app. What happens if an item does not ring up as WIC and either you or the customer thinks it should? This is happening because the foods at the checkout do not match the foods available to that cardholder. It is important to understand that if the WIC transaction does not go through, there is no way to override this. And just because a food item is WIC allowed, it may not be authorized for that particular cardholder. In this situation, start by reviewing the approved food list to see if the item in question is allowed, or scan the item in the Montana WIC app. Check the cardholder's available balance to ensure the item was issued to that family. If the item is not allowed on WIC, show the food list to the customer and help them select the correct food item. A common mistake is a WIC customer trying to purchase the wrong fat content for milk or yogurt. For example, the family may have a low-fat, skim milk available on their card, but they have brought up 2% or whole milk, which would not be allowed. Also, review the family's available WIC foods balance to determine if there is enough for the purchase. For example, a family may be trying to purchase 2 dozen eggs when they only have 1 dozen left on their card. Always encourage the WIC customer to review their available balance on the receipt. If you and the customer have reviewed the approved food list, used the Montana WIC app, and reviewed the available balance, and it seems like the item should be allowed for WIC, then WIC staff may need to review the item and add it to the list. Please send us information about the item. There are a few ways to do this. You can use the Montana WIC app to submit products directly to the WIC program, or you can use an online form found on the Montana WIC website. You can also just call WIC staff with the UPC of the items and the customer's card number, and they will take a look at it. Your assistance helps us keep the approved product list up to date. For any other questions about available foods or their card, or to report it lost or stolen, the WIC customer should contact their local WIC clinic. If you are experiencing any issues with your POS, contact your service provider for assistance. Remember that there are many different types of point-of-sale systems out there, and WIC cannot provide technical assistance on how your store system works. There are a few things to always remember about WIC transactions. Once a WIC transaction is complete, you cannot void the WIC food items and put them back on the card. All WIC sales are final. Never give cash back in a WIC transaction. Never exchange or accept a returned WIC item unless it is defective. Rain checks are not allowed on WIC. Never ask for the customer's ID related to a WIC purchase. A main resource for WIC-authorized grocery stores is the Retailer Reference Manual. This document outlines the policies of the program for stores, and it includes more details than what is in this training video. When your store offers special deals or promotions, those must also be available to WIC customers. If your store chooses to use shelf tags to help WIC customers find the right foods, please ensure they are posted on the correct items and that they are used on all available WIC items in the store. Retailers are not required to stock all possible WIC foods, but they are required to stock some items, such as cheese, bread, and formula, in sufficient quantities to meet WIC demand. Please contact the WIC program or review the Retailer Reference Manual for the list of minimum stocking requirements for your store. Both WIC customers as well as WIC-authorized stores may be penalized if they violate the regulations and policies of the WIC program. These penalties, or sanctions, can range from a corrective action plan to disqualification, depending on the severity of the violation. If a store is disqualified from SNAP, it will also be disqualified from WIC for an equal amount of time. Please review the Retailer Reference Manual to fully understand the violations and sanctions in the WIC program. Some common violations can include not training cashiers on WIC procedures, not meeting minimum stocking requirements, stocking expired formula, and charging unapproved foods to WIC. WIC staff monitors stores for compliance with program rules and also conducts covert actions to look for stores committing fraud. Remember that buying, selling, or misusing WIC benefits is a crime. If you suspect any kind of program abuse, please report it to the WIC program by calling 1-800-433-4298. In conclusion, thank you for your participation in the WIC program. You are an important partner in keeping Montana families healthy, and your high level of customer service is appreciated while providing these important services.